Morning, Mrs. Hall.
Morning, sir.
It's a lovely morning.
Cows are sitting down. That means we'll have rain sometime today. Quite soon, I shouldn't wonder.
Really?
Scrambled eggs.
Pardon?
For breakfast.
Oh, I'll eat anything. They're my favourite scrambled eggs. Mr. Farnham not down yet, then?
Oh, well, since he's gone through to Lord Alton to do the post-mortem on that horse. The one you shot.
Oh, that. Yes.
You call that clean, eh?
I haven't done that yet, Mr. Soames.
Well, get a move on, will you? We haven't got all day. And just remember, there's lots of people on the dole know about horses who would jump at your soft job. By hell. I can't wait for Lord Alton to get back from Scarborough. He'll be down on that idiot like a ton of bricks.
If they were wrong.
He was wrong. Forgotten more about horses than he'll ever know. Yeah. Like a ton of bricks.
There, what did I tell thee? Here comes rain. Is there something wrong with your eggs?
No, it's fine. It's just, I don't really seem very hungry.
How's that baby, Mrs. Warburton?
Oh, she's fine, thank you.
Well done, you.
Come on, come on.
Morning.
Morning, James. Coffee still hot?
Yes, just made. Shall I,
No. I can manage. And if I can have the sugar, please, James. Yeah, I'll have it back.
You've been over to Lord Hulton's, then?
Yes, all done.
How did it go?
All right. Straightforward enough.
Classical torsion, several loops of bowel involved, black and tympanitic. You did well, James, well.
Oh, good.
Plenty sweating of it there, didn't I?
Yes, you could say that.
Well, you can stop sweating now. Very good thing you put the poor beggar out of his misery. You've got nothing to worry about. It's more than I can say for that wretched man, Soames.
Oh, he was there, was he?
Oh, yes, he was there trying to mix you a bottle. I still put a stop to that.
Oh?
Asked him how he thought Lord Hulton was going to feel when he found out how long he kept his favourite hunter suffering before calling us in. That gave him something to chew on, I can tell you.
Yes, I can imagine.
Right, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, let's go have a look at the day book and see if we can't find you a few trouble-free cases this time. Oh, yes, I know. Hanshaw's farm. Of course, you won't know where that is, will you?
No.
I'll write it down for you. One of his cows has had milk fever. I've given her a couple of injections, and according to old Hanshaw, she still won't get off her backside. Have a look at it for me, will you?
Right.
You get there on the Borton Road, third turn to the left, just after the cocked hat. All right? How's that look to you?
Thanks.
Oh, do me a favour while you're out, will you, James?
Yes, of course.
I've my brother arriving today. He's been at veterinary college. Term finished yesterday. His train's due in at midday. Would you mind picking him up?
Yes, of course. How will I recognise him?
Oh, you shouldn't have any trouble there. Looks rather like me, I suppose.
Except he's a fresh-faced kid with rings under his eyes. Bit like a debauched choir boy. His name's Tristan, by the way.
Tristan?
Yeah.
Really?
Father was dotty about Wagner.
I'm quite partial to a bit of Wagner myself.
Oh, then you weren't subjected to it, were you? Morning, noon and night. Or stuck with a ridiculous name like Siegfried. Still, yeah, suppose it could have been worse. Could have been, Votan.
Or Pognor.
Forgotten about old Pognor. Pognor Farnham.
Sounds like a South Coast holiday resort.
Yes.
Bitch. Bloody lazy bitch.
She got it into her today, Arthur.
Ah, the bitch that she is.
Have you tried rubbing a tail between two sticks?
Or setting a strange dog on her. That usually does the trick. A strange dog.
Good morning.
What do you want?
Mr. Hanshaw?
Hanshaw.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. It's his handwriting.
I said, what do you want?
James Herriot, Mr. Farnham's new assistant.
Well, where's Mr. Farnham?
He's not coming. He asked me to have a look at her.
Oh, hell, that's all we need.
This is the lady in question, is it? This here is very wet.
Well, it will be.
Oh?
Water.
Pardon?
Water, surely you've heard of that. If they'll not get up, try pouring a bottle of cold water down the lug oil. Old trick of my dad's with that. And we did know about Stop Me Dad.
I see. Did it have any effect?
It doesn't always work.
Look, let's not muck about. Get her tail whipped off and let's have done with it.
And how is that going to help, Mr. Hanshaw?
Worm in the tail is obviously what's doing her.
There's no such complaint as worm in the tail, Mr. Hanshaw. That's just a popular myth.
Every cow I've ever seen's got up damn quick when she's had her tail off.
Well, she would. Wouldn't you? The pain must be quite excruciating.
You want this game, are you?
Reasonably.
Aye. And Scotch, so they tell me.
Aye. That's right.
You could try shouting down a lug hole.
What?
Shouting down a lug oil. Haven't you heard of that one either?
Well, I suppose anything's worth a try. Help yourself.
Rather vet.
Cush!
Beg your pardon?
That's what they shout at cows. Cush.
Cush.
Cush! Is that best I can do? Cush!
Get in there, come on. How you go? Go on, get down there.
Just rock her gently from side to side, will you, please? And again. Yes. I suspected as much.
What?
I'm sorry, Mr. Hanshaw. But this cow has a broken pelvis. And damaged nerve endings as well, I shouldn't wonder. Probably happened the first night when she was staggering around with a milk fever. I'm afraid that's one cow that's never going to get up again. Best thing you can do is get her down to the butcher's as quickly as possible.
Well, there must be some you can do.
I'm afraid there isn't, Mr. Hanshaw.
If my dad were alive, he'd have done something.
I hardly think so. Not with a broken pelvis.
Dad! Hey, Dad! Dad! Some daft buggers left top gate open. There's cows all over me. There's something cornfield.
Tristan Farnham, I presume?
Yes.
James Herriot, your brother's new assistant.
Oh, hello. Thanks.
You'll have just finished your exams, then?
That's right. Pathology and parasitology.
Oh, yes. Good journey down?
Slept for most of it.
Oh. Really?
Bit of a roughish end-of-term party last night.
Ah. Swinging the lamp and telling the tale, eh?
Mine was with a couple of girlfriends, actually.
Oh. Really?
Hey, you! Harriet!
Hello, Mr. Hanshaw.
I just thought I'd let you know you'll not be getting paid for that professional advice you gave me.
Oh?
That cow will never get up again, he says. Get her down to the butcher's, he says. Half an hour later, she's up on her feet, trotting round like a 2-year-old.
That's impossible.
Oh, I went down to the butcher's, all right. Got myself a fresh killed sheepskin. I put it on her back and up she gets in no time. What do you think of that, then, eh? Oh, trick of my dad's, of course. Now, he knew about stock.
Mrs. Hall.
Hello, Master Tristan.
How do you do it?
What's that, then?
Manage to look younger every time I see you.
Oh, get away with you and your bother.
Oh, is my brother in?
No, he won't be back till tonight.
Ah.
The old sheepskin trick, no?
You've heard of it before, have you?
Well, works like a sort of a poultice, you see. Damned uncomfortable, I would think. But if the cow is lying there out of sheer cussedness, she will sometimes get up just to be rid of it. Amazing, isn't it, how there is often a grain of sense in these old quack remedies?
Cherry Ho.
Good health.
It still doesn't make any kind of sense, though.
What?
That cow had a broken pelvis. I definitely heard the bones creaking.
Oh. The cow recently calved, didn't she?
Yes.
Well, there you are then, you see.
What do you mean?
Well, for some cows, the pelvic ligaments don't always tighten up for a few days, and that can give the same effect.
Oh, I see.
Still in all, I think it's only fair to warn you.
What's that?
Well, the cow's about to become a celebrity. If I know old Hanshaw, he's going to show her off to every last man in the district as the cow that Mr. Herriot said would never walk again. Oh, you're done at last, are you?
I thought I'd take a bath, freshen up a bit. How are you?
Right.
Do you mind if I,
Help yourself. So, how did the exams go?
Not bad.
Huh?
I did all right in parasitology.
And pathology?
I didn't do quite so well in pathology.
Huh?
Didn't get it.
You failed pathology.
Right.
Still, that's pretty good, you know.
Pretty good.
Getting parasitology. And pathology is a very tough subject.
Well, it was tough.
You can sit it again at Christmas.
There is always Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, you think that's pretty good, do you?
Well, yes.
Well, I don't think it's pretty good. I think it's awful. A damn disgrace! And just what the hell have you been doing all this term? Boozing, I suppose, chasing women, I suppose, spending my money, and now you have the nerve to come in here and tell me that you failed pathology. Well, I've had enough this time. I'm sick of you, do you see? Sick! I am not going to go on working my fingers to the bone just to keep you there idling away your time. Shut up! You're sacked! You hear me? You're sacked! Go on, get out of here! I don't want to see you around here anymore! Get out!
Oh, hello, James.
No, I won't, thanks. I'm sorry about the way things have worked out.
Could have been worse.
It's bad enough, though, isn't it? What are you going to do?
Do?
Well, now that he's kicked you out. I mean, for a start, where are you going to sleep tonight?
Well, here. Where else?
Yes, but he sacked you.
Oh, he's always doing that. Always forgets immediately afterwards.
Oh, I see.
That was the tricky part, of course. Getting him to swallow that bit about parasitology.
Parasitology? But you said you passed in parasitology.
No, I didn't. You did. All I said was I'd done all right.
You flunked that one as well.
Oh, yes. Still, as you said yourself, there's always Christmas, eh?
Yes.
I'll get it, Siegfried.
Go, now, you won't. Hello, yes. Mrs. Pumphrey. Tricky Woo's gone what? Flop bot again. I see. Well, I'll send someone out to see him. Goodbye. Mrs. Pumphrey. Tricky Woo started going flop bot again.
Tricky who?
Woo. Flop bot. Are you deaf?
What?
The blasted telephone.
I hear no telephone.
Well, of course you know, because I just answered it. How many times have I got to tell you it is your job to take the early morning calls? Your job. Now will you get out of that damn bed? No, it's perfectly true. She's a widow, worth a fortune. Her old man was a beer baron. Had breweries all over Yorkshire till he popped off.
Who's Tricky Woo?
That's a Pekingese.
Oh, I see. Now, you mentioned that condition it had. I'd never heard of it before.
Oh, yeah. Flop bot.
That's it.
That's why Mrs. Pumphrey's own.
Oh, yes.
Well, you see, the woman feeds the dog all the wrong things, and as a result, he's overweight and subject to impacted anal glands. Every so often, the condition becomes acute, and he simply flops down in mid-walk and refuses to go any further. Flop bot.
Hodgkin. Hodgkin.
Yes, ma'am.
Leave that now and come along. Time for Tricky Woo's exercise, Hodgkin. Now, Uncle Hodgkin will throw our rings for us and we'll all have a lovely game. Off we go then, Uncle Hodgkin. There.
Little swine.
Oh, a little further than that, Hodgkin. Not into the rose bed, Hodgkin. We wouldn't want Tricky to get pricky paw.
Who wouldn't?
What was that? What was that you said, Hodgkin?
Mrs. Pumphrey?
Yes?
My name's James Herriot. From Mr. Farnham's.
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you. Delighted. Oh, Mr. Harry, thank heavens you've come so quickly. You've no idea what agonies my poor darling's been going through. Come along, Tricky. Time for examination.
Fetch.
You're quite sure he'll be all right now?
Oh, yes.
Good. Here you are.
Ah.
Oh, and do help yourself to biscuits.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheerio.
So, you were trained in Scotland, then?
Right.
Oh, of course, Tricky's always been passionately fond of the Scots. He met an Aberdeen terrier when he was on holiday in Scarborough once, you know, and they absolutely adored one another.
Really?
And, of course, apart from Floppot, he's been in a very happy mood today because of his win.
His win?
A shilling each way on Canny Laddie at Redcar yesterday. He got 9 shillings back. His horses always win, you know. The bookmaker in town loves him.
Yes, I can imagine.
Mind you, he has disappointed me about the summer house.
Oh, yes?
Well, you see, I had it built specially so we could sit out together on warm summer afternoons, but he's taken the most violent dislike to it.
Oh, dear, really?
Yesterday he called it that bloody hut.
Good grief.
I can't think where he picks up such language, unless, of course, it's from Hodgkin.
Ah.
He doesn't care what he comes out with.
He is a bit overweight, you know, Mrs. Pumphrey.
Hodgkin?
No, Tricky Woo.
Oh, yes, I know, but, well, I mean, what can one do? I mean, he does get so bored with chicken. He was telling his pen friend only the other day.
His pen friend?
Oh, yes, he has a pen friend. It all started when he wrote a letter to the Doggy Times, sending a donation.
Oh, yes.
What he told the editor, that although he was descended from a long line of Chinese emperors, he decided to come down anyway and to mingle with the ordinary dogs. So, would the editor please find him a pen friend?
Really?
And he got the most beautiful letter back from the editor, saying that he would see what he could do. Bonzo Fotheringham.
I beg your pardon?
That's his name.
The editor?
No, his pen friend. He's a lonely Dalmatian.
Oh, I see.
Of course, Tricky always sends him a hamper at Christmas time from Fortnum's.
Bonzo Fotheringham?
No, the editor.
Ah. Hasn't Siegfried surfaced yet?
Just about. In a pretty vile humour, I'm afraid.
Oh?
Was up most of the night over at Whiteley's place with one of the cows. Seems to blame you for it.
Me?
Thought you could leave that for a moment. Now, today is market day, right?
Right.
All the bills went out on Wednesday, and everyone will be queuing up shortly to give us their money. I want you to devote the entire day to taking it from them. All right?
Right.
You take the money, you give them a receipt. Then you write their names down in the receipt book. Now, do you think you can manage that without making a bloody hash of it?
I think I might just be able to cope.
All right, then get on with it. You find the receipt book over there on the desk.
Morning.
Morning, James.
Bit of a late night, then?
You could say that, yes. I got to bed just before dawn. Thanks largely to you, I might add.
Me?
One of the Whiteley's cows had a mild impaction. He's been messing about with it himself for weeks, and suddenly at 4 o'clock in the morning he decides to call us in.
Well, I'm afraid I can't see the connection. I mean, I haven't been in the Whiteleys for weeks.
No, but when you were there last, that's when the damage was done, wasn't it? When I pointed out what time it was, he came back at me by saying that you said we would turn out at any time of the day or night.
I understood that that was our policy, Siegfried.
What I'm saying, James, is that you're spoiling these chaps.
If I didn't turn out, I'd be worried sick in case the animal died on me.
Well, let it die, my dear boy. And perhaps they'll call us in a little bit earlier. There's nothing like a dead animal for bringing people to their senses.
I'll try and remember that, Siegfried.
Oh,
For me?
It's got your name on it.
It's not your birthday, is it, lad?
Not that I'm aware of, no. Oh. Stilton, my very favourite.
Ah. A certain good lady of this parish was on the telephone yesterday, inquiring after your gastronomic inclinations.
Oh?
She said her dog wanted to know.
Dear Uncle Harriet, just a small token of appreciation for services rendered. Yours affectionately, Tricky Woo. P.S. I've told Bonzo Fotheringham what gentle hands you have, and he says that if ever he's afflicted by Flopbot himself, he'll certainly be in touch.
Now, isn't that sweet?
Do you mind?
Who the hell's Bonzo Fotheringham?
Well, if you must know, he's a lonely Dalmatian.
Hello, Mr. Harriet. Darling, it's Uncle Harriet on the phone.
I just wanted to say thank you very much for the Stilton.
Oh, how nice. Just hold on and I'll get him.
Hello? Hello?
Here he is. He's listening now.
Who's listening, Mrs. Pumphrey?
Tricky Woo, of course. I thought you said you wanted to thank him for the cheese.
Well, yes, I did.
Well, go on then, Uncle Harriet. Tricky's waiting.
Hello, Tricky. Uncle Harriet here. I just wanted to say thank you very much for the cheese. It was very sweet of you. Well, I have to be going now, so don't forget, less sweet biscuits and more protein. There's a good dog. Bye. Mr. Dean?
Hi. You're the vet, are you?
James Harriet. Yes.
Come in, lad.
Am I interrupting your dinner?
Nay, I just finished. Bit of a tip, I'm afraid. I'm on my own now, do you see? Since we put her in the ground last year.
Well, it can't be easy managing on the pension these days.
Nay, it's the young uns I feel sorry for. The ones with kids to bring up.
This is the patient, is it?
Aye, he's the one.
It's all right. He's getting on a bit, isn't he?
Oh, aye. Nearly 14 now, you know. Wonderful dog for his age, though. Been galloping about just like a pup up to this last week. Never bit once in his life. Lets the kids do whatever they want with him. He's all I've got left now, he's out, Bob. You will be able to put him right, won't you, Mr. Harriet?
Is he off his food at all?
Clean off. And that isn't him, isn't that?
Hmm. There's some swelling in the abdomen here. Let's just see if we can turn him over, shall we? Come on, old boy.
Hey, he's all right, lad.
Over we go.
Come on.
There's a
Mr.
good dog.
Harriet, he's going to make you better. You can put him right, can't you?
You see that swelling there, Mr. Dean?
Aye.
Well, that's caused by an internal growth.
Cancer.
Yes.
Is there what you can do?
I only wish there were.
He's going to die, then.
We can't just leave him to die, can we, Mr. Dean? I mean, he's in distress now, but he's going to get a lot worse. What I mean is, wouldn't it be kinder simply just to put him to sleep? After all, he's had a good long innings.
You got the stuff you use with you?
Yes.
Then, will you do it now? Please.
It is, quite painless, you know, Mr. Dean. It's just an overdose of anaesthetic. It's just like going to sleep.
Come on, old boy.
Is that it?
Yes.
Thank you. What do I owe you?
Well, that's all right, Mr. Dean.
Nay, I'll not see you do it for nothing.
No, it's all right, honestly. I was passing anyway. Would you like me to take him away?
Nay, I'll say to him.
Right, well, goodbye, Mr. Dean, and, sorry.
Well, Mr. Elliot, something I've been saving for a rainy day. I'd like you to have it.
Thank you, Mr. Dean. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, lad.
Bye, Mr. Dean. Hello.
Oh, it's you.
Waiting for Siegfried?
No, I'm waiting for a train.
Oh, that's very good. Shall I have a drink?
I've had a drink.
We'll have another drink.
Good Lord, no.
Does Siegfried know you're here?
I should think so. He brought me.
Ah. Whew. Hot.
What?
The weather.
Oh.
I shouldn't be surprised if there wasn't a drought.
Shouldn't you?
No. No, I really shouldn't. Not at all.
Ah, hello, James.
Hello.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Diana. I'm sure James has been entertaining you.
It's been riveting.
Ah, good. Now, I wanted a word with James. I wonder if you'd wait for him in the car.
Oh, very well.
Bye.
James, you're on call this evening, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes, well, I shouldn't be late. There was just one thing which came up while you were out. Old Sumner rang. He said he telephoned the other night and you refused to turn out because it was the middle of the night. Is that right?
Yes.
I'd like you there, James. He's a good client. I wouldn't want to lose him.
Oh, it was only a chronic mastitis. I thought it was perfectly safe to leave it until the following day.
My dear James, the fundamental rule of our profession, day or night, rain or shine, if asked to attend, we must attend. The animal might die.
Would that be such a bad thing?
What?
Remember what you said. There is nothing like a dead animal for bringing them to their senses.
I said?
Yes.
Well, absolutely not.
Siegfried, you were
James, I don't want to hear any more about it. Now, from now on, writing in letters of fire across your soul, if asked to attend, I must attend. I must attend. Are you in?
Speed up. See you.
Yes, well done. Come on.
Where are you going?
You'll see.
Just a minute.
Come on.
What you doing?
Hello, yes?
Oh, is that Farnan's? I want to speak to Mr. Farnan, please.
I'm afraid Mr. Farnan isn't in. Can I help?
Oh, I'd rather have your boss, but I suppose they'll have to do. This is Sims here of Beale Close.
Oh, yes.
They knows my place, does there?
That's the one with the 9 different gates, isn't it?
Aye, that's the one. And make sure that closes them all after they this time.
What exactly is the trouble, Mr. Sims?
Oh, I'll tell you what the trouble is. I've got this great big horse, and daft bugger's gone and cut himself.
I see. And where exactly has he cut himself?
Oh, on his hind leg, just above his hock. I want him stitched straight away.
And how big is the wound?
Oh, about a foot and a half long and bleeding like hell. Hey, when you're stitching him, you better watch it. He can kick a fly's eye out, can this fella? Blacksmith's scared to death of him.
Right. Well, if you can have a couple of chaps standing by, Mr. Sims, in case we have to throw him.
Throw him? You'll never throw this fella. He'll kill you first. Any road, I've no many this time of night. You'll just have to manage on your own.
I see. Well, I'll get there as quickly as I can, Mr. Sims.
Oh, you've heard about the road, have you?
Road?
Rode up to my place, got washed away in them floods till the night. You'll have to walk last mile and a half on foot.
Hello?
Hey, and get a move on, will they? I don't want keeping waiting all night.
I'm not sure I like your tone, Mr. Sims.
Oh, that doesn't like my tone, doesn't that? Well, I'll tell you what I don't like. What I don't like is useless young apprentices buggering about with me stuff. Thou knows nought about damn job.
Well, you can't talk to me like that. I mean, who the hell do you think you are, anyway? Mr. Sims, you can take it from me that if it wasn't for that poor animal, I wouldn't be coming out at all. Mr. Sims. Are you there, Mr. Sims?
You know, you really should take it easy and buy your best of breakfast.
Tristan? Tristan, is that you? One of these... Tristan, have you got someone there with you? Now, you listen to me. One of these days, I'm going to murder you. I'll probably kill him.
What?
If he's found strangled one of these mornings, you can put me down as prime suspect.
Who's that?
Your batty brother.
Oh, him. Just a boy, James, full of youthful high spirits. You know, you must learn to take these things in your stride, James.
Really?
Professional men all over the country worrying themselves into early graves, and do you know why? Because they allow themselves to get all steamed up over little piffling things. But ask yourself, James, is it worth it? All be the same, you know, in 100 years' time.
Cool.
Any messages?
Just the one.
Uh-huh.
Ned Holt wanted you.
Ah, dear old Ned. Probably my very favourite customer. Looked after his herd for years. And do you know how much I've charged him?
No.
Not 1 red cent. Far too nice a fella. About the car, was he?
Yes.
Oh.
He told me to tell you that she was fine now.
Yes, I thought she probably would be. I had this current timpani, you know. Nothing seemed to do her any good, and then quite suddenly it struck me.
Oh, yes?
Of course. Actinobacillosis of the reticulum.
Ah.
So I shot some sodium iodide into her, and there you are, you see. He says she's all right now, does he?
Yes. Though he thought she would be by tonight. He said that he gave her ½ pound of Epsom salts in a bran mash.
Said what?
½ pound of Epsom salts in a bran mash.
I'll strangle him.
Yes, I thought you might.
Yeah, get me down aside 233.
Still secret, like you said. No point getting into a state about these things after all. Well, it'll all still be here in 100 years.
I want to speak to Ned Holt. Well, get the bugger out of bed!
James, something terrible's happened.
You've been sacked. No, you're just trying to cheer me up.
It's not funny. I've lost it. I can't find it anywhere.
What?
The receipt book. The one I was listing the bills in yesterday. Without it, I haven't a blind idea who paid what and who didn't.
Oh, it must be somewhere.
No, it's gone. I've been searching for hours.
Oh, dear.
Look, it's no joke, James. You know what this means, don't you?
Yes. It means I'm not going to have to be the one to murder you after all. Siegfried will do the job for me.
It means all the people who paid their bills yesterday are going to get them again next month. Then there'll be hell to pay.
I believe there is a job going on the Leeward Islands.
Well, at least help me look for it.
I'm afraid I can't. I've got an appointment with Tricky Woo. It seems he's gone crack-a-dog.
Crack-a-dog?
According to Mrs. Pumphrey.
What the hell's crack-a-dog?
Do you know, I can't wait to find out. Ah, that sounds like Siegfried now. Break it to him gently, eh? About the receipt book. Morning, Siegfried.
Morning, James. Hello, little brother.
No, man. Siegfried?
Yeah.
You won't believe this, but the damnedest things happened.
Oh, it was awful, terrifying. It happened this morning while Hodgkin was throwing his rings for him. Well, you know, it's Hodgkin's job to throw his rings for him.
Yes.
Well, all of a sudden, right out of the blue, Tricky went crack-a-dog, running around in circles, hysterically barking and yelping in the most peculiar fashion. Then suddenly, down he went on his side, just like a dead thing. I was beside myself, Mr. Harriet.
I feel sure you must have been.
And then the next thing, up he gets again, apparently perfectly normal.
I see. And how has he been since?
Fine.
It should do because on the 24th or something, the 24th or it. Got anything to you?
No. Would you like one?
Hmm? Oh, yes, thank you.
Tricky Woo?
Yes.
I hope you remember to thank him.
Yes, I'll give Mrs. Pumpy a ring.
Do you know my last assistant did even better than you out of that dog?
Oh?
Oh, yes. I mean, boxes of kippers through the post every time Tricky went to the seaside.
Hampers from Fortnum's at Christmas?
Yeah. But then, of course, he was rather better organised than you are.
Oh?
I mean, he'd never telephone to say thank you. He used to write to the dog personally.
Really?
Amazing, isn't it, the lengths to which such people will go?
Isn't it, though?
Feeling all right? Shattered. Like I've been run over by a steamroller.
I'm not surprised. One of the hardest jobs in country practice. Putting a cow's calf bait back into her. It's like trying to thread a needle with a sausage.
You can say that again. You know, I'm sure this sort of thing isn't good for me.
It's a great feeling somehow.
What?
That blissful moment when the whole thing suddenly slips back inside. And you know you've finally managed it.
I see nothing remotely poetic in watching a cow's engorged uterus disappearing in... Anyway, you know why he sent me on this job with you in the first place, don't you? Revenge for losing that bloody receipt book.
Oh, well. It's all over now. Let's just hope it doesn't come out again.
Do you think there's a chance it might?
Oh, yes. Happens quite often.
But I'm on duty this afternoon. On my own.
Oh, well. We'll just have to keep our fingers crossed for you, won't we? What's his name?
Bob?
Oh, I see.
Well, when old Bob went, I vowed I'd never have another. But then when they brought him round to me, they couldn't afford to keep 'em all, you see. And if I hadn't, I reckon we'd have found him at bottom at river in a bag with a brick, just like the rest of the litter.
Well, I'm glad.
You're right fond of animals, aren't you, Mr. Elliot?
It's my job.
Doesn't always follow.
Well, thanks for the tea, Mr. Dean.
Thanks for calling to see me. Anytime.
Right.
Oh, Mr. Elliot, have you smoked that cigar yet?
Saving it?
Just like I did.
Hello, yes?
Is that Farnings? Are you young fella that's put our cow's calf bed back this morning? Oh. Well, I've got some very bad news for you.
Oh, really? It's all come out? Oh, no. Surely it's not all come out.
Okay. Scissors, please, Trish.
I'll get even with you. Just watch it. Mrs. Pumphrey, hello.
Hello. Oh, hello.
Good morning, Mrs. Pumphrey.
Tricky Woo asked me to call in to thank you for your letter.
Oh, that? Not at all. Thank you for the cigars.
Just one thing. Next time you write to him, well, you know you addressed your letter to Mr. Tricky.
Yes?
Well, I'm afraid he does insist on Tricky Woo Esquire. Ah, at first he was terribly affronted, but when he found I was from Uncle Harriet, he soon recovered his temper.
Oh, good.
I can't think why he should have these little prejudices. Do you think it's because he's an only dog?
Well, yes. I suppose that could well be it, yes.
Yes. I was... Oh, well. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye, Mrs. Pumphrey. Bye, Mrs. Pumphrey.